All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here with a little PSA. If you don't know what you're doing with cars, don't do anything to somebody else's car without checking with them first. So here's the story. We had a customer brought the car back and they rented this for 2 days and they're like, hey, the brakes were squeaking. So I got some Armor All and I tried to clean the brakes. The logic there is not very sound, right? Like if the brakes are squeaking, there's generally a couple of reasons why brakes would be squeaking. Obviously on a 2023 car, it would not be due to wear. Sometimes the brakes are a little bit warped. Sometimes you get a pebble in the brakes. Sometimes it's just the composition of the pad material and the rotor that would make them squeak. However, lubing them up effectively is what the guy was going for, is not how to make your brakes stop squeaking, right? Like you don't like wax your rotors. You don't spray stuff on your wheels or on your brake rotors to try to make them quieter. You're going to harm your ability to stop your vehicle. And since most of the braking is done in the front of the vehicle, by doing so, not good. Now, granted, the wheel and tire cleaner, which I feel like this is an advertisement for, but it is not. The wheel and tire cleaner that you're spraying on, luckily is not designed to lubricate. So that's possibly, like, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, but they also sprayed wheel and tire cleaner on the brake rotors to try to make them quieter. But because this is applied so closely to the brakes, I assure you it's not going to lubricate the rotors. Otherwise, it would make a dangerous condition, and then somebody uses the wheel and tire cleaner on their wheel, and then they crash. They're going to sue Armor All. So I don't think this is effective in doing that. What do you do? If you have a car and your brakes are squeaking, call the company. Hey, I'm sorry, the brakes are squeaking on the car. Is this normal? Should I be doing something differently? Is there something, like, you could have a rock in it. If it's a constant squeak, you could have a rock stuck between the caliper or the pad and the rotor. Very possible. And then you'll be cutting a groove out of it, and I would generally tell you to stop driving and inspect it visually to see if there's anything wrong or anything stuck in there causing the sound. If there's nothing that you can see and no unusual wear patterns, then you can bring it to step 2, which is just drive it like that. Because like Ferraris or these other cars that have brakes that squeak or tend to become squeaky, the technical way to do it is to stop driving so gingerly and to show the car what's up. And I think I've talked to several mechanics at dealerships, especially some of the higher end ones, and the correct way to do it is to just go take the thing up to like 140 miles an hour and do a couple of hard stops, and guess what? Your brakes don't squeak no more. I would never tell that to a customer. I would never tell somebody to try that, but I've done that myself. It's almost like seating or reseating a brake pad. When you put your brake pads in, there's a process to break in the brakes to match up the rotors to the brake pad, and that requires a couple of panic stops at a couple of different speeds. That effectively is cleaning off the pads. It's cleaning off the surface, so you're getting a good clean contact between the brake and the rotor, between the brake pad and the rotor. So this is not it. Surprise, surprise. And like, I'm never surprised by customers when they tell me stuff like that, but don't do this, right? If there's something, presumably if there's something wrong with your rental car, you're going to be responsible if you do something to damage it or make it worse. So don't do things, especially mechanical or trying to fix something without asking first, because you're going to be responsible if it's broken. You can't say, oh, it was broken, I tried to fix it and it's broken even more now. The correct thing to do would be, hey, is this normal? Should I fix it? What can I do? Can you bring me another car? That's a way out of that situation. Not this. I was trying to spray your camera. I didn't. Bye. See you next time.